Hey Aquarius, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading, general reading. Take what works, leave what doesn't. I have shuffled the cards. I am cutting the deck. I am grabbing the one from the bottom of the deck. We have the Chariot. All right, coordination services, or I want to say concierge services. But there's a coordinating energy, getting moving, getting a coalition building. I guess we're just going to pull out all the C's. Coalition building, cooperation, getting cooperation from people so that we can move forward with something. It's a movement energy. Coalition movement. Could have to do with vehicles, cars, right? All those tires have to be going in the same direction or going coordinated in order to move forward. The horses have to be getting along a little bit. So sometimes it's like just very, very different things that are normally scattered come together for a moment in the Chariot to build this coalition. Over on Vimeo, I'm doing relationship focused readings, so you can head over there for one of those if you want. I do charge a small fee for the energy exchange. But let's continue with this one. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. All right, Seven of Wands. Well, coalition building, and this is overall for the reading. So this could be something that we're thinking about, something that we're considering, a possible option. Here we have Seven of Wands, though. So Seven of Wands is you being very solo, maybe feeling unsupported, but standing up for what you believe in. We have a bunch of naysayers, but you holding your ground, standing up for something you believe in. You had the high ground back in the day, and you stood your ground. You had to be stubborn. You couldn't be wishy-washy or weak. You couldn't be easily influenced about others. You couldn't be people-pleasing. You couldn't be in that mode. You had to be, there's kind of a sense, especially with this one, of backed into a corner and having to defend yourself from that corner. You had the high ground though, and this is very solo. This is coordination energy, coordinated, getting things together to get them moving. And this is though feeling very solo, isolated, feeling like you're the only one that gets what's going on, not feeling supported, not feeling like anybody has your back, having to have your own back because nobody else has your back. Current situation is death. There's change afoot. Transformation is also another name for this card that other people... Why do I have it over there when I'm left-handed? I don't know, but death is the other name. Transformation is the other name for this card. There's something old here that isn't going to work. Maybe some regrets, maybe some things that didn't work out, and you're maybe backed into a corner where you have to change now. You can't just, something can't go same old, same old. And it's not the external that needs to change. It's something, well, the external will change in response to you changing, but you have to give up on something, maybe something you fought for. You have to let go of a certain part of yourself or a certain expectation. You have to step through a portal, and in order to step through the portal, you have to allow yourself to be transformed and go new. I'm almost seeing like you stepping through a portal, and there's some sort of, like, in order to do this, in order to reach some sort of next phase or next step, you have to leave a lot behind. So like as you're crossing, it's almost like you're now a skeleton on the other side, or your clothes change, or something has to change as you go through this portal. There's a lot of energy, and there's a lot of who you were back here. Maybe things that you've clung to, or maybe things that you've really strongly self-identified with, and that's been very important for your survival up until this point. But now that we're crossing this point and we're going through this portal into a new life, there's a lot of stuff that you can't go as you are. And how you got to the portal wasn't wrong. How you have journeyed thus far isn't wrong. Maybe you're the only one that believed in the portal and believed in where you were going. And so it was important to go solo. But as you're transitioning to a different phase of your life or a different phase of some sort of project or something like that, I feel like, especially with this Chariot, you can't go alone. We'll see what else this says, but because there are people here, there are other people here, there's a lot of people here. So where you've been alone, you can't move forward in this energy. And maybe it was defensive energy. And so there's nothing here that says you were wrong in the past and that was the wrong way to be. There's only a sense of whatever that was, it got you to here. And now some sort of fundamental part of yourself has to change as you head through the portal. And I don't want to say, I want to be gentle with that. Like, you don't have to force yourself to change. I think you've been in fight mode and defense mode for a very long time. And I don't think you need to force yourself through this change or through this portal. It's like a natural happening. It's like you are strawberry puree and you're going through the sifter. Now, it was never, you had to be a plant, you had to be strawberries, and then you had to be strawberries, and then you had to be picked and sit in a container for a while, and then you had to be blended and maybe cooked a little bit, and now we're just removing the seeds. But as you go through this sifter here, you're going to have to leave those seeds, and they seem so important, and they've been a core part of who you are and how you got here. You're going to have to leave those in the sieve in order to go to the next part, the next stage of your transformation from a plant in a field to an absolutely delicious, fluffy strawberry curd or something like that. Like something very, we're heading into deliciousness, and we're going to have to leave some pulp and seeds behind. All of those pulp and seeds got you exactly here. So it's a very gentle process. There's a sense, I'm having a sense of being poured, and there may pouring of a natural gravity doing a lot of the work here, right? But there may be a sense of loss. You may grieve those seeds that you've carried with you this whole time. There may be, but I don't feel a sense of, there may be regrets, right? But you've had to be in self-defense mode. And maybe you've been a bit defensive, and maybe you've fought back where there wasn't anything to fight. But where you're going now, you have to be a lot more, there's something about this defensive mode and this working solo and this I'm on my own, and I'm unsupported. There's something about that you're leaving behind. Sounds like a really lovely shift, but I think that there might be some difficulty with it for you. Like, in theory, it seems very lovely, but how that plays out psychologically and internally might actually be a little bit of a struggle. I think with this process, you just have to not fight it. Well, I mean, I know why. That's closer to the kitchen, but this is my dominant hand here. So yeah, that's what's going on. Your inner landscape, you're looking at your next steps. I mean, you're aware that these changes have to happen and have to be made, and hopefully you're going to be able to allow yourself to release into them and not fight them the whole way. Because it's a change of self-definition. Death is really more about ego death. And ego, I mean like self-definition. This is who I am. This is how I am. And a lot of that is held subconsciously. We're not necessarily always aware of our own defenses, of our own defense mechanisms and all of that. We're not necessarily very aware of that at the time, but once we become aware, it's time to let it go. You're looking at the next steps though. So I think you're very aware. You're looking at the next steps, and there's some way in which you have to shift and change in order to move into that next step, in order to move into where you want to go, where you want to take your career, your work, your some aspect of your life. You know, maybe you're moving houses, or maybe you're moving apartments or something like that. And there's stuff that you're going to have to leave behind over here. Or maybe you're moving in with someone and you have to leave your alone time or aloneness, or your private space, or maybe you're moving into a building with security, and so you can leave your security system behind. It's not just going to be you protecting yourself and protecting your space anymore. There's like security codes now, and you have a little bit of help here. But you're looking at some sort of concrete next step in your reality, but there's like this psychological thing that has to change in order for the physical to happen. So, right, like I was saying, that inner stuff happens and the physical, and it shows up in the physical. So right now I think you're consciously thinking about physical changes, where you want to go next, what happens next. But the internal has like a big shift that it's doing. It's going through a portal in order to get you there. So you may have like stated some sort of intention or something like, I want to go here, I want to do this. And then your subconscious and spirit and guides are all like, okay, in order to get her there, he is gonna have to go through this sieve, this process, this portal, and go through some changes. So you're experiencing it. It's in your current situation. You're experiencing sort of this shift, this change. It might even be changes to your social life. It could be a lot of different. There's a lot of possibilities here, but it's fundamentally seems to me like a psychological shift, because you want to go someplace different physically in reality. Judgment, we're not coming back this way again. This is like the fourth card in the last like 2 weeks, or the fourth. There's been a lot of readings where we're not going, where judgment is in reverse here. And some of them are personal, some of them are, personal people I've read for. Some of them are these readings, but Capricorn just got a similar message. We're not going back to where we came from. You're not going back here. You don't have to revisit this defense mode or this solo struggle mode. The past isn't coming back. There's something you don't have to redo something. It's like you're not going to have to go through the blender again. Once you're through the sieve, you don't have to go through the blender. You're going through the sieve right now. So, or the sieve. I don't know. Why don't I know how to pronounce that word at this late stage in my life? Judgment, though, is not resurrection. This is interesting because we have death and not resurrection. It just means, though, I think we're not going back to this previous state of defensiveness. It's like this death is a portal and it only goes one way. The seeds aren't going to go back in. It's like the valves in our blood, in our veins. It only goes one way, and that's how it must work. We're not going back to the past. The past isn't coming back. The past isn't coming back. You're not going back there. Or you maybe don't have a chance to redo something. Or maybe you're looking at the past and it's just you can't go back. It's not coming back. There's no do-over on this. You're passing through a portal and you're not going back. In your environment, you have Page of Wands, you have a person. Here, this page is going to be a person. They're new, they're excited. They maybe have just discovered something. This always reminds me of like just discovering your sexuality, or just discovering, but it could be like a creative person. It's a page, so there might be some immature energy there. Passion, I want to say an immature passion, an undeveloped passion, or an undeveloped, passion. Or there could be like, whatever it is, it's someone who's new to something. So no matter what age they actually are, they are new to a passion, a religion, a relationship, a sexual experience, or something like that. They're new to it. And they might be surprised by what they're finding here, or very excited by what they're finding here, because maybe they were bored. So no matter what the age of the person, this person is very new to something. So this would be like a mentee. Maybe you have someone that you're mentoring. Maybe you have someone that's just very new to an activity or a creative field or something like that. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they want to go with it, but they are pretty excited about something. So there's someone in your environment who's new to some sort of, has a new passion, a new passionate endeavor. They're very curious about it. They might want to play with it or figure out like, what does this do? Where can I take this? Yeah, how does this have to deal with you? Because we have 7 of Wands, but you have someone, maybe this person's new to your life and they're very passionate about you and very excited about you. And so maybe you can get out of this defensive mode because someone else is excited. Someone else is taking up your cause, your old cause. Maybe this person is joining you on your hill here, right? You're solo, no one's got your back but you. But now we have this Page of Wands here. We have someone that does have your back actually, or is joining you, and maybe they're just new to you and new to your life and new to, but they're excited about it. They want to see what they can do. Maybe they can help out. They share your passion in some way. Yeah, I really feel like they share your passion and your excitement about something, and they're kind of backup, and maybe they don't know very well how to be your backup, right? We're all like very unique creatures, and we all need support in like very different ways, and sometimes, you know, some people need support because they need alone time and they need their partners or the people in their life to understand that and not take that personally. Other people need to talk it out, and they need the people in their life to understand that they're not asking them to solve the problem, or they're not, you know, like everybody needs support differently. And this looks like some sort of support, someone on your side. But if you've been in defense mode, it might be very difficult to recognize when someone is on your side. But I feel like there's this Page of Wands who's taking up your cause, is passionate in the same way that you're passionate. And maybe they're not, maybe they're a little clumsy about it and they're not very good at it, but I feel like they are backup. This person is going to have your back in some sort of creative endeavor. They may not know how to have your back. And maybe that's what they're new to, is like your field or your passion, and new to like standing with you on this, in this place. And maybe they're defending you. All right, your to-do list, the Sun. Clear, happy, growth. Be happy. Okay, why are you being told to be happy? Be clear. You see everything. There's nothing hidden here. There's not a secret agenda. I think this is what this is saying about this Page of Wands. This Page of Wands, I do not think has a secret agenda here. There's something you're being encouraged to be happy about and to enjoy. And I think you need to, because this past has suspicion, solo fighting, solo endeavor. But I think there's really something to be enjoyed here. And maybe it's that you're not going back. These both come from like the solar plexus. Both the Sun and Judgment would be coming from a sense of self, a sense of who you are. And the Judgment would be, you know, review. You're not under review. Maybe something you've done in the past is not coming back to haunt you. You're not being haunted. You're not under review. You don't have to go back there. And the more secure you can feel, I'm looking at the Kabbalah here. Just trying to understand these two cards, because they're next to each other. We have 19 and 20. We're not going to the review. You get to turn in the paper, but you're not getting graded on it. There's a sense too of the Sun being clear, being happy, being able to enjoy where you're at. And with this defense energy and this sense of no one has my back. What's with the Chariot though? Coordinating something. Maybe you're coordinating with this person that's sort of new to your life, or new to your field, or new to something. But being happy about it. I think revealing to who you are, being clear, and enjoying the fruits of your labors. We go from death to the sun. So death also is connected in with the solar plexus as far as like, it's like part of who you are, and that's changing. An essential part of who you are is changing. And then the sun brings us into like this isn't, judgment could be like, we're not heading into, because judgment would normally take us straight to, 21 is the world card, completion and ending. The past isn't coming back, but I don't think we're going to a completion. There's like a reason why this is happening like this, or why this judgment is in reverse. Is it doesn't bring to completion, it brings to creation. The sun card goes from who you are into the world, into creation. So the judgments, the past isn't coming back, there's no do-over, but there's also no end. Or there's no evaluation. You're not being haunted. Possible outcome, Page of Cups. We have another person who's new to an emotional relationship. So someone may be new to your passion, new to your field, and now there's like a new emotional connection. So Page of Wands and a Page of Cups. Oh, we've got the clumsy lovers here. The clumsy lovers. Yeah, we've got a wand and a cup. The pitcher and the catcher here, and we've got someone who's new to catching, or they've caught new feelings, and they're surprised and curious, and maybe a little, they're not expertly handling their feelings because they're all new. They don't know. So is this you? Is this someone else? We don't know. Page of Cups though, and there's a person here with surprising new feelings. Are they going to handle them perfectly? Probably not as a page, but every king starts as a page, at least in the tarot. So we got to start somewhere, and so there's someone here with some new feelings. No matter the age, they're learning about something new about their feelings. They might want to communicate some new feelings. They're not going to do it expertly. They're going to trip over their words, but there's a new emotional discovery. I think it's interesting, these pages are discovering. There's excitement and discovery, and there's also the new, that's the same thing as being new. If we're going to experience a new thing, if we're going to experience something new, we're going to be bad at it. We're going to be clumsy at it. We're going to fumble it. They're fumbling their feelings. They're not dealing with them expertly because it's not a king, it's a page. They're inspired and excited about something, but they're a Page of Wands, not a King of Wands. They don't know what they're doing. They're just kind of fumbling around. So yeah, clumsy lovers. But that's the whole thing about being new to something, is you have to be willing to be clumsy about something. You can't be new and then expect to be an expert level like that, right? There's a whole process, a whole learning process you go through, and it's awkward and it feels strange and it feels unusual, and you mess up and you learn and you think, am I ever going to get used to this? Am I ever going to be good at it? But there's a whole process, and that's what we mean by trust the process, is that the process of learning has these different stages, and these are two people that are learning new things and having new feelings and learning about new things, and they're not, no matter what age, and you should continue being, having new passions, and hopefully you can continue having new passions and exploring new feelings. But you have to understand that newness comes with the price tag of something being new is you're not very good at it. But there's a whole process there, and eventually, if you stick with it, you'll be the king. So fire spirit energy. So these are synchronicity cards. That's what I like to think of them as, but they can also add to this. Fire spirit energy, this is handling some sort of passion and some sort of energy very well. So this is the wands, and we've got this charioteer is holding a wand too. So there's handling passions, handling an argument, possibly just being able to handle passion. There could also be a storm, lightning, fire, energy, I want to say a power outage, anything like that. A storm possibly could just remind you, yes, I'm right where I need to be, and maybe remind you of some part of this reading where you can like connect in with it again and remember something. So, and then Guardians of the Land, protection. One of my favorite cards here. Protection. So we have mushrooms, we have a forest, we have a buck here with some pretty good antlers, and protection, guarded. Maybe this is someone else coming in to help protect you. Maybe they're new at it. All right, and then a prayer for you, dears. Elegant eagle, clarity, inspiration, insight. Ancient and sacred beast of the skies, awaken my spirit to soar to new heights. And I like it with the sun, ancient beast of the sky. Insight. I'd also say vision. You know, their vision is considered very clear. Inspiration. Well, this is the epitome of inspiration. Ancient and sacred beasts of the skies. But we have these pages, but we're also talking about something ancient. Guardian of the land and sky. It was mother and father energy. Pitcher and catcher energy. Awaken my spirit to soar to new heights. All right, wow. Well, we've got the portal you're going through, so hopefully this was helpful for you, Aquarius. Join me over on Vimeo for a love reading if that's what floats your boat. If not, we'll check back later. Ciao.